Hi, welcome to another edition of Bringing Hope to Alzheimer's. I'm Anne Fraser, and I'm sitting here with my dear friend, Kristen Christian, and she is the owner of Be Organized. And Be Organized, tell us about that and what it is that you guys do.
You know, rather than saying we're professional organizers or help people in transition, we are selling peace of mind. That's what we do, and just helping people get organized in the best of times or in the worst of times. If your environment is cluttered, it's really hard to focus. So we have the distinct honor of helping people live their best life through organizing.
I love that. And you guys have franchised all over the United States, right? So, because we have listeners from all over.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about, give me some scenarios of, people can call you to come in and organize their closet or their pantry or their whatever, but give me more scenarios. Who else calls you for your services?
Well, oftentimes we have adult children of people who are downsizing, because that is such a monstrous, almost paralyzing task.
Because we come from, our parents lived in the times when you saved everything.
Keep everything.
Keep it all.
Keep it all just in case, right?
That's it.
And so we have often heard from realtors and from senior living communities that their biggest competition is people's stuff. You can't even think about putting a sign in your yard or moving to a senior community where you're getting cooked for and cleaning and is done for you to simplify your life, because they're almost tethered to this home full of stuff. So that is a large part of our business, is helping people going through that transition. And it takes a lot of time. It's not going to get done in one afternoon. And so we go in, kind of wrap our arms around them and try to simplify the process and really ensure that they feel good about what they're leaving behind, what they're letting go, and that they're bringing with them what makes their heart sing, right? And just helps them lead the best life.
Yeah. So, and that kind of takes the pressure off of the family too, because the family doesn't want to be the bad guy.
Correct.
So you guys are fantastic at that. And so seniors who are moving, and really anyone who's moving, right?
Absolutely.
Talk me through that.
Well, moving, as you know, in the best of times is so stressful, but you add on top of that a death, a divorce, merging of households, downsizing, relocating, kids coming to and back and from the nest, from college and trying to get out of that family home, but kids are still needing the space, yada, yada. So we come in and we can manage it from A to Z. We have a move manager on staff and a senior move manager on staff who, again, just loves up on our clients and helps calm that chaos. And everything from little tasks that you don't think about, of rerouting the mail, we'll do that for you, of managing just the crazy timeline, because as you know, with moving, the stars kind of have to align perfectly, and we kind of nudge and make that happen with and for them.
Very good, very good. So tell me who your number one client is.
That's a good question. Someone who has too much stuff, probably, which is most Americans, because we're consumers.
True that. Yeah.
So we really come in and help that individual who has too much stuff and has an intense relationship with their stuff. So we come in and help pare down, purge, edit, whatever the terminology that feels good to that person, but really lovingly walking them through those questions so that, again, they can make sure that they're bringing with them what is right. Or even if they're not moving, to best use that space so that they can have clarity. It's really hard to think clearly when there is just so much stuff around. And I don't know if I've shared this quote with you before, but North America is part of 12% of the population that does 60% of the private consumption spending.
Wow.
We love our stuff.
Yes.
And then we're going 80 miles an hour, and then you add on top of that a move. It's really stressful. So I firmly believe that the number one rule and way to get organized is to own less. And so you need help with that. So that's a long answer to who our favorite client is, but it's somebody who is really struggling with the clutter and this intense relationship, because we all do have a relationship with our stuff, helping them define that and then make decisions around that helps them feel good in their space.
Okay, good. Love that. Yeah. So why did you start Be Organized?
That's interesting. I grew up in a family of keepers and savers, and we call them crammer, jammer, stackers. In our world, we have 7 profiles that we've created on that relationship. And I grew up in Denver, and my parents were moving here because my brother and I both settled in Kansas City. And it was the hardest thing on them because they had been in that home for 30 plus years. And so I went back to Denver several times. This is long before I started Be Organized, and really went through the challenge of helping them pare down and get rid of and make all those decisions and pack up and all the logistics. And it was brutal. And luckily I had the time and the patience and the wherewithal to do that. But wow, it was a huge undertaking. And so that was the start of me mulling over of, wow, we could really help a lot of people and have a service on this. And then I am not a naturally organized person. I was not raised that way. I am not that way. I don't think that way. But organization became my superpower in my adult life, coupled with ADD, I think. And just, and there's just so much, again, going on in our lives that organization, I really kind of found it as my safety net or my lifesaver, especially raising 4 kids. I knew I was a better version of myself when I was organized. So that was really the birth of Be Organized, is wanting to help people live a better version of themselves. And it's such an honor to get to do that.
That's awesome. So many great companies have come out of a story that they dealt with, that they were like, oh my goodness, this has to change. I have a better way.
Yeah.
So that is wonderful. I want to break this podcast up into 2 parts.
Okay.
And so I'd like to do a second edition. So we're going to end this one, and then the next week when our next one drops, we're going to talk about our next story. So because I really wanted people to understand about Be Organized, about what you do, but you have a specific story besides that you and I share, and that's having a loved one with Alzheimer's. So I'd love to talk about that next. Yes. So join us next time for round 2 with Kristen Christian, and we're going to really dive deep into what it's like having a loved one that you're having to figure out all the things that of someone who has Alzheimer's and dementia. So join us next time, and we will see you soon. Thanks for tuning in.